Join me as I dive deep into the darker side of Halloween and uncover some spooky secrets that will give you chills. Halloween, a night of costumes, trick-or-treating, and spooky fun, but there's more to it than just the surface-level celebrations. Behind the masks and makeup lies a rich tapestry of myths, legends, and cultural practices that are often overlooked, and that's what we're going to explore today. One of the biggest misconceptions about Halloween is that it originated from pagan rituals, but the truth is, it's a bit more complicated than that. The ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, which marks the end of the harvest season, is often linked to Halloween, but the modern-day celebrations have been heavily sanitized over time. The early Christian church tried to eliminate the pagan traditions, replacing them with Christian holidays like All Saints' Eve, which eventually merged with the existing Samhain celebrations. As the centuries went by, the paganism was gradually washed away, and the festival became more secularized. The commercialization of Halloween has further diluted its original meaning, turning it into the candy-fueled, costume-driven extravaganza we know today. But if we scratch beneath the surface, we can still find remnants of those old pagan traditions, hidden in plain sight. Take, for instance, the jack-o'-lantern, a symbol that's become synonymous with Halloween. But did you know that the original purpose of carving pumpkins was to ward off evil spirits, not just to create a festive decoration? The Celts believed that on Samhain, the veil between the living and the dead was at its thinnest, and the carved turnips and potatoes were meant to keep the malevolent entities at bay. Darkness and fear have always been intertwined with Halloween, and one of the most fascinating aspects is the history of trick-or-treating. The tradition is often linked to the medieval practice of souling, where poor people would go door to door, begging for food and other treats in exchange for praying for the dead. This macabre tradition was later adopted by the Irish and Scottish, who would disguise themselves in costumes and visit their neighbors, singing songs and telling stories in exchange for food and drink. The symbolism of costumes is another aspect that's often overlooked. We wear costumes to disguise ourselves, to take on a new persona, but in the past, this was more than just a fun activity. The Celts believed that on Samhain, the spirits of the dead would return to the world of the living, and the costumes were a way to ward them off or even communicate with them. The commercialization of Halloween has turned costumes into a fashion statement, but the underlying symbolism remains. The commercialization of fear is another dark aspect of Halloween that's often overlooked. The holiday has become a multi-billion-dollar industry, with haunted houses, horror movies, and scary attractions popping up everywhere. But what drives this desire for fear and thrill-seeking? Is it a way to confront and overcome our deepest fears, or is it just a form of entertainment? The line between what's real and what's fake becomes increasingly blurred, making it difficult to distinguish between the two. One legend that encapsulates the darker aspects of Halloween is the story of Stingy Jack, an Irish folktale about a man who was so stingy that he refused to pay for his own drinks in a pub. According to the legend, Stingy Jack was denied entry into both heaven and hell, and was doomed to roam the earth, carrying a lantern made from a turnip to light his way. The story has evolved over time, and today, we know Stingy Jack as the protagonist of the jack-o'-lantern, a symbol that's become synonymous with Halloween. The story of Stingy Jack is a testament to the darker side of Halloween, a reminder that the holiday is not just about costumes and candy, but about the supernatural, the unknown, and the darker aspects of human nature. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of Halloween, it becomes clear that there's more to this holiday than meets the eye. In conclusion, Halloween is more than just a night of fun and festivities. It's a window into our collective psyche, a reflection of our deepest fears and desires. By exploring the darker side of Halloween, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. So, the next time you put on a costume or carve a pumpkin, remember the rich tapestry of myths, legends, and cultural practices that lie beneath the surface. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the darker side of Halloween. If you have any thoughts or stories to share, please leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my other videos on similar topics, and until next time, stay spooky.